All right, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So just finished recording my video for Kaiju No.8, Chapter 45. So I'm not going to do the huge big spiel that I did at the beginning of that one here. I'll just mention I'm going to do my best to try to get a proper channel update out today, so everyone can kind of have an idea of when read-throughs and stuff are going to be coming back. But the kind of TLDR stuff is I've been busy with life and work, and also playing video games, and it's been nice to have a break. But I do plan on coming back. I haven't dropped the channel or anything like that. But I'm just taking a small little relaxation time before I get back to it. But I figured I should catch up with Kaiju No.8 before too many of the chapters pile up and it gets to be a little bit too unmanageable. So with that said, let us dive straight into Kaiju No.8, Chapter 46 by Naoya Matsumoto, with translation by David Evelyn and lettering by Brandon Bovia. And as you can see, I've got myself a nice little tea from Remedy Cafe this morning. And we see, God, I cannot... It's been so long, I forgot what Baldy's name was. And I don't remember what blonde-haired streaky girl's name was either. You're going to have to forgive me, I do not remember either of their names. So for this chapter, for these videos, are going to be Baldy and blonde-haired streaky girl. So we see more ants coming down. The various zones of the defense forces holding him back. And Baldy goes, "We can't expand the front line any further. Don't allow them to leave the Wrangler zones." And you have Blondie straight going, "Sheesh, there's no end to them. We need something to break through this." And you see, reporting in, neutralization zone western region. Kaiju No.8 has emerged. And you see Narumi going, "So he's here." And you see another middle blonde streaky watching with the Kashing, and you have, "The operation will now move into the second phase." And you have, "Will this be for better or worse? Maybe sending Shinomiya out there was the right call." And you see Mushroom Head going, "Ah, I knew it," as Kafka is walking up to him. "You are Kaiju No.8 after all." And you see him sending out some kind of sonic signal to all the dead ant kaiju. And you see Kokoro go, "The Yoju we killed there." And you see as they're getting up. And she kind of shudders. What the hell? And you see Mushroom has just kind of like blown out these billowing, bulbous looking wings. I don't know if it's from his back or from the ant's back, but you see like the ant is just having like these bulbous wings shooting out. And she goes, "It's further evolving. This thing's hiding even more powers." And Kafka comes up and just taps her on the shoulder and goes, "Thanks, Hikaru." And she's kind of just taken aback for a second as he goes, "I'm still having problems trusting myself, but I know I can 100% trust you guys," as he just gives the most adorable little kaiju smile. It's just, oh, I love this Jay so much. And he's here just looking at him surprised before she does her typical cool thing. He's like, "Oh, fine." And he's like, "Sorry, but do you mind taking care of the ants?" He just kind of glares at him, goes, "Since you're asking me to disperse the weaklings, you best win or I'll kill you." And he goes, "You got it. I'll go kick its ass." As you see him just getting like enraged as he puts his fighting face on. And you see him just starting to sprint forward through all these ant kaiju as Kikoro's just playing covering support from behind. He's taking them out with some gun blasts. Kafka just sprinting through with a boof. And you have a Mushroom Head going, "Ah, you sure took care of me last time, didn't you, Kaiju No.8? Though ever since then I've grown thicker skin, literally." And you see Kafka looking confused as I assume some kind of like vines or something come whipping out from below and like start wrapping around him. And you have, "Now I'm ready to kill you." And you see that the wings have turned to like these weird looking like eye cannons almost. Like there's a bulbous, like it looks like moth wings turned into cannons. So it's got like both of them aimed at Kafka. Yes. Oh shit, that was epic. Oh god damn. Yes. Oh, you see Kafka in the next station of battle pose as he just ripped out the ant's core and is just standing behind Mushroom Head. And he's looking at him with, huh? And Kafka's like, what's this? It's the ant's core. It's like, well, and he just crushes it in his hand. He goes, from what I saw of your fight with Kokoru, your core is there in the ant as well, isn't it? And Mushroom Head's like, no way. He tries just launching barrage of his little finger blasts at Kafka, who's just like punching away at him and deflecting them. And Kafka goes, seeing that thing made me think, I haven't been able to draw out Kaiju No.8's powers at all. It's pretty ironic. And you see him just leaping and dashing, creating these giant craters as he's jumping around. And you see he's opened up a hole in one of his feet, which I'm assuming he's using as like a launch thing. So he launches himself up into the air. Yeah, so he uses it like as a jet projectile, like to launch himself up and over behind the ant and Mushroom Head. And it goes, having it take control of my body taught me how to use my body better than before. And you see as Kafka's landing, the vines, the arms, whatever, come ripping around him, trying to lash him down. He's like, I've got you! And you see that he doesn't, as Kafka's again just does like a giant leap straight up into the sky. And as he gets up in the air, he flips around, uses the blast to just launch himself straight down. And Mushroom Head's like, what happened to him? And Kafka goes, say your prayers. You're not getting away this time. And he comes down with a supercharged punch as Number 9 is just like trying to use both his arms to block. Like something about him has changed. And you see the force is just kind of exploding him down into a crater in the ant's head. And you see blood just bursting out of his eyes and his mouth as his teeth are shattering. And you have a pump as Kafka just craters him into the ground in a giant explosion with a boom. And you have a to be continued. Alright, so not too much to say about this chapter, given that, it's more action oriented than plot oriented. But that said, I really do love like all the designs, like all the facial quirks and things that Matsumoto-san does with the series. So that was really good. Also love, the Kafka. I love that Kafka's kind of like, now that, the Berserker took over my body, I kind of know how to use it better. I guess, to an extent, it makes sense, because he's, all about kaiju disposal, that's what he did as a profession. I guess it makes sense that, to an extent, he'd be kind of in tune with, how a body works, like what it's capable of, like how the various systems and things work. So I guess he's kind of like bridging those two knowledge systems together, like, with knowledge of how his body works, like knowledge of how Kaiju's bodies work. It's kind of like meld it together to figure out, how to draw Kaiju 8's full powers. So it'll be interesting to see, what other capabilities he's able to draw out, either in this fight or after this fight when he's kind of like training to figure out what else he's capable of. Like I said, his line about, I still don't fully trust myself, but, I trust my... but I trust my crew. It still doesn't make up for the criticism I had, the last chapter regarding how quickly they seem to be overcoming the trauma and kind of like glossing past it. But that line does give me a little bit of hope that maybe they'll hopefully address it a little bit after this arc is done, when they're doing like a mission debrief. When Kafka has to talk about, what the hell happened, he has to explain like why I couldn't transform into Kaiju No.8. I hope they kind of address it a little bit then and talk about, what went wrong. Things like that. But we'll see. It's still a little bit too early to tell if or how that'll be handled. But I'm optimistic it'll be hopefully handled well, but we'll see. Apart from that, great chapter. I loved it. Like I said, chapter 45 should be uploaded by now, so I'm going to upload this one as well. And I'll record the next chapter right away, so all three of them should be hitting my channel in quick succession once I'm done. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, expect the channel update to be out sometime this evening, hopefully, fingers crossed. And until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.